Good morning, everybody. All right, we are live. Listen, good morning. Happy Wednesday. What if I told you that at any given moment we have different parts of ourselves that somehow is running our lives? So, in today's live stream, I would like to address this principle. Who like at any given moment, what part of ourselves is running the show? Because it is so essential before we decide on executive decisions that we have to make for our businesses and for our teams, for our marketing. It is so essential for us to really like be fully connected with ourselves, and it goes beyond the mindset, because the mindset is when like I truly believe that a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of people who are in business, they have a really good mindset. This is not the mindset issue. This is goes a lot deeper, because again, at any given moment we have different parts of ourselves, and I want to break it down to you in a way that it is more digestible. Because listen, sometimes I do have this pet peeve when I go way deeper into into the theory, into the psychology, because I my background is in clinical psychology and I'm a registered hypnotherapist. But I really want to break it down to you in a way that you can actually start using it today, right now. And if you are in this spot where like, okay, I really need to recalibrate, I really need to look back at myself, at my business, at what's going on with me internally, you can do it rather successfully. And my goal, my simple goal from this live stream, so you walk away with the actionable steps that you can actually look and reconnect with yourself. All right. Hello, Jay. Hello, Mary Kay. Hello, everybody. Listen, as you are joining my live stream, say hello in the comments. I would like to hear from you. One thing about my live streams, and as everybody is joining, one thing about my live streams, this is not a lecture. Like, I do not like talking at people. I like talking with people. So at any given moment, if you see something that resonates with you, drop it in the comments for the neighbor. If you hear something or see something that you don't quite understand and you would like to me to like kind of pause and expand, I would like you to also drop it in the comments. Um, I really would like to hear from my community, and also, if something speaks to you really deeply and you have additional thoughts, comments, drop in the chat, drop in the comments. All right, so I'm gonna start with this, um, my origin story, because I think it is so. I think it will be more instrumental to actually see to see in action. So, as we know, our identities, ourselves, are forming throughout our lives, right? Through our childhood, throughout our professional lives, throughout our education. So, for me personally, I have been the strong person for myself, for my family. I was the provider. I was that person that everybody can rely on. And when it comes to like professional stuff, like that also translated to this to this identity that like everything is on my shoulders. And a part of me, like really enjoys that part of myself. But throughout my life, right? Throughout my life, I was really struggling, not necessarily struggling, but I was really facing with this reality where um it was so easy for me, like being the provider, being the problem solver, being that person who has it together was so easy for me. And in fact, I would confuse it with safety. It was safe for me because I'm always in control. It was safe for me because I always know what to do. It was safe for me because I don't have to rely on anybody else. And when I started my business, and actually, like right before I started my business, I had this emotional collapse. I went through a really significant life event. I went through a divorce, and that kind of like really shook my internal world, right? Because we're talking about what part of you is running the show. And often when life and God universe like stops us in our tracks, we often ask ourselves like, okay, but what is really running the show? And that was the question for me. What was really running the show? Because for in my in my adult life, right, I had two significant careers, like really, really significant careers. One career was clinical psychology therapy, mental health. Another significant career was directly opposite. It was technology. It was software development and software engineering. And those those two parts like created two different parts of myself. One part was this altruistic self that wants to bring so much light, so much unity, so much healing to the world, and another part that wants to bring stability in not just impact but like income with that impact. And for me, for the longest time, I could not reconcile and or rather like it was easy for me to go into the practical aspect, into more pragmatic, more material aspect of myself versus like really like sitting with myself and figuring out how I reconcile two worlds. How do I reconcile bringing the healing and unity and bringing the strategy and the financial support for me? So um, after my divorce, like I really had to look at myself, and I really had to uh, see like what is running the show, because like again, it was identity deconstruction in a way, and in a way it was uh, that I suddenly realized that I was doing something that was not necessarily in alignment, but like something that I was not called for. And in our businesses, for a lot of entrepreneurs, we often get into this into this paradigm when we are most reliable, when everything depends on us. We have a hard time hiring people sometimes. Am I telling the truth? Like, let me know in the comments, in the replay or in live, like if you can relate. I don't know about you, but for me personally, like that controlling part of myself is right. Sometimes is running the show. Sometimes I would rather overwork myself and do everything myself, even when I have team members that I can trust, that I chose because I know that they can deliver. But I'd rather be in this, in this situation when I just need to control the situation, and that is a different part of me, like that is running the show. And what is essential to understand for everybody, what is essential to understand for everybody at any given point, and in developmental psychology and psychotherapy, there are many different theories. In psychotherapy specifically, there is a ego states therapy, and there's a internal family systems therapy, internal family systems approach. And that approach teaches us that throughout our life experiences, we form different neural connections. And those different neural connections, our learned experience, our lived experiences, form those different parts of our personality. And when how it is applicable to your business. When we're running a business, entrepreneurship Entrepreneurship will bring everything to the surface, good or bad. And when we are in this situation, sometimes we like silently, but like when nobody is watching, we ask ourselves, can I perform? Can I deliver? And it goes beyond just imposter syndrome. It's not like I don't want to be found out, and like, can I deliver? Like, can I run my business? And like, listen, that comes to the surface at any stage in your business. No matter if you're running, like if you just cross like seven figures, like you just like in this season between 80K to 300K, like that comes up a lot. Like, well, like, but can I execute? Can I execute? Yeah, I'm learning the income that can actually support my family, but can I execute? Can I perform more? And we yearn control more, and then different parts of ourselves and often and sometimes wounded part ourselves hijack the show. And when the wounded parts of ourselves hijack the show, we don't see the numbers. I mean, we see the numbers physically. There's nothing wrong with our cognitive abilities, but we misinterpret the numbers. We start overworking because uh, leaning into enhanced performance, when you can actually restore, when you can actually recover, like an athlete, right? Athletes are working really hard. And listen, I am not subscribing to this soft life, entrepreneurial lifestyle at all, because entrepreneurship is not about soft lifestyle, and it is both. We have seasons when we work really hard, when we put maximum effort, and we have seasons when we fully recover, when we fully rest, when we fully recover, when we come back to ourselves and we perform again. Like that, life is cycles, life is seasons, right? Life is not just sitting on your behind on your couch and making millions of dollars from your phone. This is just not the reality. Ask any entrepreneur who actually made it and made it big. Gary Vee, like literally anybody. Gary Vee, Tony Robbins, Rachel Rodgers, Myron Golden, Alex Hermosi, Jerusha Hawk, Kelly Roach. Ask them, like, what is soft life? And they will tell you that you can absolutely create soft moments for yourself. You can create absolutely soft seasons for yourself. But entrepreneurship is not about soft life. Entrepreneurship is about enhanced performance, and enhanced performance is when you integrate different parts of yourself. And Mary Kay, we actually did this exercise on our podcast episode, and that was absolutely beautiful exercise. So if you have not listened to this episode, like, please go back. Heart and Profit podcast, recent episode with Mary Kay, so beautiful. When you integrate different parts of yourself, and you actually can orchestrate your internal world, your nervous system, and you can actually select the strategy and the movement from alignment versus just fear, versus just despair and the craving of control, that can turn into absolutely beautiful business. So my takeaway from you, what I want you to take away from this live stream, whenever you feel in this point where um, either it's hard to take action, or you feel scared, or you don't feel secure, like really take a quick like the best way to actually go about it is to put your thoughts in the writing, in journaling. And now, like, really deeply like, really good exercise, by the way. I want to return to that podcast once again, like, follow this exercise, and I will actually create the video with the exercise itself. Ask yourself, what parts of you right now are present in this present moment, right here, right now? Not what you think, but what you feel, where you feel it in your body, because our body responds to our feelings, to how we feel, how we process the feelings often. And like really identify, is it a wounded child? Is it a control freak? Is it an analyst? Is it an adult? Especially when it's hard to make a financial decision. And when we have trouble making decisions in our business, normally it goes back to our either our money story at any given point. Like I know people who make millions in their business and they're overworking, they're doing way too much because they grew up in humble upbringings. And that humble upbringing actually cultivated this ego state. And ego state is simply neuroconnection, not to confuse with acting out of my ego versus out of my soul. Like there's a little different, modalities. And simply like what part of me is running the business. And sometimes that wounded part that grew up in humble upbringings is running your show. And it's really hard to make executive decisions because it is not your executive self. And the goal is actually integrate yourself and call for the most integrated, the most adult, the most executive self in you. And when those parts are integrated and you have the right part of yourself that is running the show, you can absolutely select the right strategy. You gain self agency. Because listen, we are like, why entrepreneurs so obsessed with personal development, with podcasting, with coaching? Not only because it is beneficial for us, it is beneficial for us. I love podcasting, I like therapy, I like coaching, but also I recognize that sometimes I give up my self agency. Sometimes it is so easy to listen to a podcast, to a coach, to a therapist, to a spiritual leader, instead of me making my own executive decisions. And if you want to run a business that supports you, because let's be honest, we're running our businesses at the end of the day, no matter how altruistic we are, at the end of the day, we really desire that our businesses are actually safe haven for us. We're putting maximum efforts in our businesses. We're supporting our businesses that our businesses can support us. And this is an asset. This is a lifelong asset when we can create impact, when we can create difference, when we can serve other people, when we can work in our purpose, when we can bring our ideas to life and create something that will support us so beautifully. Listen, I'm not going to be long before you. In 2026, I actually have redesigned my coaching container. My coaching clients, they graduated, and after a couple of years running my coaching business, this is what I noticed. This is what I noticed. I noticed that the strategy is actually the easiest part of your business. Like I truly, truly believe that because like literally last night I was I'm actually creating identity based marketing playbook for my business. It's like no, there's no PDF, there's no freebie. I'm actually doing it for myself, and it took me probably like an hour and a half, maybe a couple of hours to come up with a playbook. And I'm using like really good psychologists, public opinion experts from 20th century, 19th century modern marketers, and like, well, it is actually really easy when you absolutely with it, when you absolutely present. like it is absolutely so beautiful and so easy to create your own strategy from the alignment and like the every move in your life and in your business. It is a process, it is a test, and we must like and for me it was such a beautiful moment when I actually enjoyed that part. And this is like that kind of brings me back to my container that I'm creating in 2026. I'm actually starting with working on integration first because I have seen enough in my practice when people created wonderful success in their businesses, wonderful lives, wonderful offers, 24K in one single week, and then people had trouble keep executing the proving strategy that they know they have the evidence that it works because of internal psychological garbage. And this is why it is so essential for me to provide a container where people can be supported in the way they want to be supported. When people execute the strategy, and again, the strategy is just like it is fairly easy, and it can be different. Like for you, it will be a little different. This is why I don't subscribe to one methodology. To what like for somebody, it will be doing live streams like this and invite people to your offer and say, hey, sign like join my wait list, book a call with me, or like this is a sales page like join my group now. For some of you, it will be podcasting. For some of you, it will be actually not on social media, but in real life. But one of my clients actually is doing his business in real life. He's not relying on social media as much. It was rather like authority boost for him when he goes to conferences and selling his offers. So join the wait list because when you join the wait list, what you're gonna get from me, like first of all, you're gonna get the behind the scenes, like what I like you can actually witness as my process as I am documenting the process. You will get hypnosis recording because I am a licensed registered hypnotherapist. Like this is another portion that I was working this year because God has been calling me to actually use all of my gifts, all of my um, natural and unique abilities, like to bring and to the business because we have the epidemic in coaching industry when we don't have enough experts running the coaching business, running expert based businesses, right? And like I truly believe God led me through 10 years of working as a therapist, 9 years working as a software engineer, putting everything all together in this wonderful container when people can be supported, people can be integrated, people can be regulated, and people can actually walk away with a strong strategy because I'm a very, very strategic person. Because listen, if I was a strategic, if I was like, if the strategist and like, really this intellectual component wasn't there, I would not survive tech for 9 years. You have to be very practical, very, very strategic, and like and very much performance based, um, like to survive and to thrive in tech. And it was exactly what helped me there. So I will leave a little bit of time for questions, and I will read your comments like right now. So if you have questions, please ask your questions about ego states, about um, strategies, about regulation, whatever is on your mind, please drop your questions, drop your comments, let me know. Like overworking is a great way. Yes, Mary Kay said overworking is a great way to hide. Yes, absolutely. Like if I don't wanna reconnect with myself, I will overwork. Absolutely. If I don't want to show up for my audience in live streams, I will create like thousands carousels, posts, like, but rather go live because, like life is an accountability. Like when I am live, I actually have to talk to people. And it's so easy for me to overwork somewhere else. And in fact, lives actually going live is probably the easiest form of content for me because all I have to do is dress up a little bit, put my glasses on, but turn my camera on, turn my lights, and talk to you. That's it. Yes, you coaching me through the integration exercise that was beautiful. Thank you, Mary Kay. I really, really appreciate it. Tracy, hello, Eugene. Jacob from Houston. Keep for takeaway. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me check other like. Listen, I'm all over the place. I'm on LinkedIn primarily. I'm on Instagram. I am on like two YouTube channels, like Heart and Profit podcast, and my YouTube channel, like that. I know, like that. Like, hello, overachiever here. Okay, like so, like if you're overachiever like me, like just know that you're not alone. All right. All right, people, thank you so much for joining. Really appreciate each and every one of you. Join the wait list because regardless if you ended up working with me personally or not, you're going to get enough, like so much goodness because like you're going to get documented process what I'm doing and everything that I'm building and doing in my business, I will be sharing with my wait list. And also, I am preparing hypnosis recordings. This is something very new that I'm doing in my business, and I will be sharing first with my wait list. You will be the first people who get the hypnosis recordings and all the behind the scenes and all wonderful offers and containers that will be coming up in 2026 as this offer comes to fruition and to full live. Thank you so much again, and I will see you in the next video. Join my podcast. Follow me on social media. I am on LinkedIn and Instagram, Eugene Perez, and everywhere. And thank you again for joining my live stream. All right. All right, y'all. Have a great and fantastic